Wish I could stop for a drink in the Thatcher's Arms. It does actually look really nice and a nice place to stop for a drink. But I forgot to bring my wallet out with me, so I can't go and get a glass of wine. But never mind, I've got plenty of snacks in my bag. So let's head in to the nature reserve. And just at the back of the pub, by the car park, there is just another lovely little weatherboard cottage here with beautiful leaded glass windows. You can see there, and the old chimney up there, and the traditional Essex weatherboarding. And here we are at the front of the Warley Place Nature Reserve, and here is that beautiful little cottage in all its glory. Look at those windows, look at that chimney. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So straight as soon as we get in, here's some information about Ellen Ann Willmott, the famous Victorian horticulturalist and gardener. And it says at the age of 18 she moved to Warley together with her parents and her sister Rose. Her father, I think, was a solicitor, but she was to become one of the most important gardeners and plant breeders of her era. She raised many new plant varieties and hybrids at Warley Place and employed over 100 staff. It also says in medieval times the track from North Lodge through the reserve to South Lodge formed part of the main route taken by pilgrims from Walsingham to Canterbury. The road was redirected to its present position in the 1860s. The old road became the carriage drive to Warley Place with access from either North or South Lodge. South Lodge on the right of the entrance gate is a Grade 2 listed property. The original roof was thatched and replaced with wooden shingles after 1935. And for many years it was the home of Ellen's alpine gardener Jacob Mora, together with his wife and 9 children. And in spring the grass verge opposite South Lodge is a mass of crocuses. So there we go, lots of information there. And here we are. I have spotted some cattle grazing. They're beautiful, aren't they? Having a good old chew on the grass there. So, not 2 foot inside the nature reserve and I'm already seeing cows. And nature. And learning a bit about an amazing woman called Ellen Willmott. So as we're celebrating a female gardener today, I think this is a hollyhock. Beautiful colours inside the flowers there. I've just spotted some of these. They are gorgeous. And quite rightly so. We don't want to pick the wildflowers, we want to leave them for other people. So we're just going to head on up this path. There's a big old oak tree there. But we're going to head up this path and we're going to have a look here. So what does this say? The reserve that EWT leases, Essex Wildlife Trust, is approximately 25 acres and it's only part of the land that Ellen Willmott owned at Great Warley. Across Brentwood Road to the left was Warley Place Farm, a 26-acre model dairy farm where she also kept sheep, poultry and pigs. The bothy was home to some of the unmarried gardeners, and Warley Lee was home to her sister and brother-in-law, Robert Berkeley, before they moved to Spetchley Park in Worcestershire. So I didn't know that Rose Willmott lived in Warley Lee, the farm that we saw a little while ago. And across the road to the right was Wellmead, Ellen's rose garden. The pump house, a very important piece of engineering for the upkeep of Warley Place Garden, was also located here. And Ellen Willmott also owned 2 overseas properties. This is really funny. This is a lime tree here. I don't know if you can see it. This is a lime tree, and it blew down in the Great Storm of 1987 in October. And as I'm standing here, I can actually smell limes. I can actually smell the smell of limes. It's really funny. So I'm wondering if the bark or there is some sort of so I'm going to have to smell the tree now just to find out, because I can smell lime. Well, I'm just having a little rest stop for lunch in Warley Place in the nature reserve, and I'm so glad I came here. I've been wanting to come up here for such a long time, ever since I first discovered the story of Ellen Willmott. I was looking to see if there were any hidden women's history stories in my local area for my podcast and my blog, hiddenherstory.com. And I came across the story of Ellen Willmott, and then I ended up buying a book. I will put the name of the book and the author. It was a biography of Ellen Willmott, and it was really interesting. And yeah, I didn't realise that, you know, she was from Warley, and she was the goddaughter of Countess Helen Tasker, who lived in Middleton Hall, which is now the prep school building for Brentwood School. And Countess Tasker and her father Joseph Tasker, they were very philanthropical. I think if you watch the video that I did on St Mary the Virgin Church in Shenfield, there's a plaque to Joseph Tasker. He was very generous and donated coal every year to the poor of Brentwood. And Countess Helen Tasker was Ellen Willmott's godmother. And I think, if I can remember rightly from the book, you know, she would give her goddaughter a rather large sum of money every year as a birthday present, and it was this money that enabled Ellen Willmott to build these beautiful gardens here. Countess Helen Tasker, her godmother, was also she also started the Brentwood Horticultural Society, so she must have been really pleased to know that her goddaughter was following in her footsteps and was not just a keen gardener, but a very talented horticulturalist herself. And the two women must have spent a lot of time together here. But these gardens and this nature reserve, it's so magical. You walk in here and they are kind of a little bit overgrown. You can imagine what the place would have been like when the house was here, and there are some old photographs which I'm going to show you on the various little notice points around the gardens, and there are still some old features. Part of the wall remains, and there's some things I'm going to show you in a minute. But it is it's almost like stepping back into this little secret, overgrown Victorian Edwardian garden. And it's the most amazing place ever, especially if you're into gardening like me.